Welcome back to Golden Acres. I'm Kim. Today we're in our greenhouse. We're talking about how we are prepping for below freezing nights here in the greenhouse, because if you didn't know, greenhouses can actually get colder outside. My cat just shoved her way in. Hey, Stinker. Want to say hi? Greenhouses can actually get colder at night. So when the temperature drops, the air will be forced, or the heat forces itself out because it drops so quickly when the sun goes down. Hello. Are you needy? Ow. You have claws, remember? Yeah, so we're going to talk about the ways we are helping keep our greenhouse warm today. And apparently being super interrupted. Alright, next to me, I have my thermometer. And it shows indoor and outdoor. Seriously, what are you doing? Oh geez, crazy cat. She's just needy today. Oh, it's ridiculous. But here is the temperature gauge. Shows that it's 87.91 in here. Both sensors are in the greenhouse right now. And that's because I keep this in the greenhouse, and then the sensor for outside, which shows you the high and the low. I obviously went in the greenhouse to know how cold the greenhouse is getting. And so last night it said, oh gosh, ow, 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 ow. Gosh. I think I'm going to be attacked again. I think I finally got her fairly well kicked out of the greenhouse. Oh gosh, this has been a slightly dramatic recording of this video. Alrighty. So it's really important that I know the high and the low, where this really, really comes in handy. This is one of the first things I put out in my greenhouse this spring to see, and then I can work on heat retention, and then of course remembering to come out and not let it get too high during the day. One of the first things, and slightly obvious things, that is going to hold heat in your greenhouse is the pots in your greenhouse. This pot is full of soil. Having it full of soil, and then of course wet soil, even better, will hold even more heat. And the cat is coming back. I'm gonna get attacked again. But this will hold heat for you. The plants inside it, especially the leaf coverage, will keep the heat from rising to the top of the greenhouse and then eventually floating out. And she's back. Are you a ninja? Are you here to come and get me? And the next thing you can do is your old milk jug containers. Some people paint these black to get these even more warmer. May. Some people paint these black so they'll warm up even more. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year or in this greenhouse. We'll see once I get these full of water and what the water does overnight for the greenhouse, what we go and do from there. You're such a needy cat. I think you're part dog. Are you part dog? Ouch. Mate! She's still attacking me. But the other thing to consider is rocks, bricks, and like cinder blocks. Those do hold heat. You know how warm concrete gets when you're walking down it barefoot in the summer. Now she's biting me. Hey, cat. I think we're gonna need an intervention. Do you need an intervention? Your love hurts. Your love hurts. And I can't lock her in the greenhouse. I don't have a way of locking the vents that she's coming through. They just open on their own. I'm going to have to lock them. But down here below the shelf, you can see we have started bringing in our cinder blocks. I am seriously getting attacked. Like, it's getting ridiculous. I'm gonna have to go put her in a kennel. I really thought about completely redoing this video, but honestly, what gets more real on a farm than your animals just straight up being like in your business the whole time? Alright, so I'd like to talk a little bit more about the temperature, but I think I'm gonna have to let this wind gust pass. Let this wind gust pass. Alrighty. Let's talk a little bit more about the temperatures in the greenhouse. As you saw earlier, and I can show again, the high was 94 and the low was 24. I have not opened any vents today, so that's why I got so warm. I will need to vent it pretty well every morning. And then the low was actually 10 degrees cooler in here than the recorded temperature from the weather station. I just looked up the low last night, which was about 34. Should have been about the same here. All right, I think that wind gust has passed. And so it's really important to monitor these temperatures and also learn how to trap the heat in here. I will be experimenting with different ways of trapping heat. Like I said, what I've already done, but also I will do an experiment, and this will be good for anyone who has a smaller, one of the plastic, cheap Chinese greenhouses. People have been asking lots of questions to other bigger YouTubers that I've been watching. Mainly Roots and Refuge is doing an experiment on them right now. These were given to me, and it's the little Jiffy 12 soil pellets that expand, and I'm going to put my other sensor in here, and it'll give me the high and low of this inside the greenhouse and see if it gets just a hair warmer. That way people would know if you kind of double up, if that would help or not. The wind is insane. So I just put this sensor in this little Jiffy container, and I will look at the temperature, because it's going to be the outdoor temp, and see if it changes. The low tonight is similar to the low last night, so that'll tell me if this kind of helps trap the heat in here and maybe keeps things just a little bit warmer, because this is a mini windowsill greenhouse. So here's my experiment of having an extra layer. Obviously, it gets much, much hotter, but the low said it was 39, and it was a low of mid-30s last night, because it's been pretty warm, so it definitely seems to help to keep it warmer. Well, it's been a few days since I've done anything in the greenhouse, and the weather, like the Midwest does, has changed dramatically. So I'm trying to figure out my fan, because I only have this door as a window in this greenhouse. The fan's not working. Nothing I'm doing works. I think that means the motor will need replaced. but it also could be something like wiring. So I'll have Andrew check that when he gets home. So right now the door is propped wide open, and because the fan wouldn't turn on, it is currently 7.7 in here, but it is on its way down. So I'm not super worried about the plants that I have in here because I just put them in here, but they seem to be enjoying it. So I've got it set up with jugs on either side because this is my first tray out here. And I've got spinach, which didn't germinate in the house very well. Cauliflower, which did much better. And then up on my second shelf, onions, which are doing pretty well. The same setup. Jug here, jug there. So now one of the major questions people is going to have is, what are you going to do about keeping this cool? Because it's only going to get warmer. Well, there's a couple options. One, hopefully Andrew can fix that and we won't have to worry about much other than that. We also could put a window in here. And I actually think we have a window. I don't know if it would fit between these two, but we have windows. So we can try to put a window in, which honestly I would love, because having a breeze through here too would be awesome. So those are our options. I also can put a fan in, a little tabletop fan, and point it towards the door to help push the heat out. And we could make it to where one of these raises up. That way the heat can escape up, which would be very effective for getting the heat out. We have talked about that too. I don't know how hard it would be. I'm not the technical mind on this farm. I just do the work. Oh, Andrew figures out all of the techie stuff for me. So that's where we're at. The temperature is dropping drastically. And I do have the temp over here. And I just dropped it. I do have my little sensor sitting over here by these two trays and by the door. That way I know what the temperature is on this side. Because I have the two different... Because this guy, this base, because it's black, is warmer. And he is staying a little bit warmer. So... Oh, this guy doesn't like to go back on its little hook there. So that's where we're at with the greenhouse. It's not supposed to get below freezing the rest of the week, so there's not much else I have to worry about. I am still gonna get this a hoop, because next week's supposed to be a little bit cooler. So I'm gonna get that a hoop to put over the plants in here. But other than that, I think we're ready to start our greenhouse. Thanks for being with me on this wild and chaotic and attack-filled video. And May's just not allowed to come into the greenhouse with me anymore, which for safety reasons, as it's getting warmer, isn't necessarily a bad thing, because if she's not allowed in here, she can't accidentally get locked in. So we're just going to keep her out, and that's going to be the safest option for her and for anyone working in here, because getting clawed up by cat claws is not fun, and they can get dirty. Like, they're scratching around in the dirt and scratching around on trees. Don't know where her paws have been, and I don't really want scratched by them. Thanks for being with us. If you want to follow along with what we're doing, hit that subscribe button. If you liked this video, let me know and hit that like button. And if you want to help us out, share us on your social media. Thanks for being with us today. God bless.